Hey everyone, Laura with We Met Wirework and More here, and today I'm going to show you how to make this really cute messy wrap bangle. But before we get started, I'd like to remind you to hit that subscribe button so that you get the notifications when we come up with these really fun new projects. The materials we're going to need to make this beaded bracelet is a variety of beads, and there is a wide variety in here. We have got our 18 gauge silver wire. We have got our chain nose pliers, our wire cutters. This is a 26 gauge wire, and then we have just got our mixing spoon, and it has been well used, this one. To start, we're going to take our silver wire, our heavy gauge here, and we're just going to pull some off of the spool. No cutting at this point. And we are just going to start to wind around our spoon handle. Just use whatever you have kicking around. There's really no hard and fast rules where this is concerned. And just start winding. Now we're going to leave varied spaces between these winds. They don't have to be perfect. Preferably they're not perfect, actually. And then we're going to go, that's probably far enough. And then what we'll do is we'll take it off the spoon and we'll kind of scrunch it all together. Once again, we don't need perfect coils. And then we take our spoon, we pop it back in there. You know what? I'm going to go the other direction. And then we're going to continue to wind. Now we want this to be long enough so that it fits around our wrist. All right, perfect. So now we got this tail here on the end. What we're going to do is we're just going to pull that up away a little bit. And what we want to do is we want to attach these two ends. So we just find a spot to poke that tail up through, making sure that it has come up through, which it has. And then we're going to take this tail with our chain nose pliers and we're just going to give it a curl. So that way it has attached this ring and the wire at the end is not sticking out. Okay, so at this point we are going to measure out a good length. We're talking nose to fingertips here of wire. We're going to slip that off. And then we are going to continue to loosely wrap around the coils that we have already made. So this one here, the wire finished off at the top. I'm going to bring it down and then up through the middle, like that. And what you can do is take your spoon, pop it in there. Don't forget to include those coils that you left off with at the end. Okay, and then we're going to continue to wrap this wire loosely. I mean very loosely. we want to get the end of this heavy duty wire all the way back around to this end here. All right. And then we're going to take this out and we'll pop it in, run it through those loops. And continue to wrap this. Okay, I think we've just about reached the end. So this is what we've got. That's a very messy wrap, but that's exactly what we want. So now we have our tail here. What we're going to try and do is we're going to try and put it up where we created the loop where we attached the two ends. And we are going to use that same spot to tighten off this wire. The snip, grabbing the ends and just twisting. You just want to tuck it in there so that there's no ends sticking out, and it will disappear. Alright, so there's our roughed out bracelet. It's very springy. You can see you can pull it apart, you can push it together, which helps with sizing towards the end of the project as well. Okay, there's our first part. Now we can put our spoon off to the side. We are going to reintroduce our beads and our 26 gauge wire. The best case scenario, you have taken your wire and you have tested all of the holes in your beads just to make sure that they're going to fit. And this just helps with a bit of frustration as your project progresses. So yes, those all look pretty darn good just by grabbing them randomly and checking that out. Okay, cool. All right, once again, not really measuring. We're going to take a arm's length of wire, and we're not cutting this off. And we are going to start at what would be probably be about the halfway point. All right, so we're going to take the end. Actually, we're going to bend that so that we know where we've left off. And then we're going to take this and pop it in anywhere, somewhere, across from our starting point, which was right here. And then we are just going to wrap that wire a couple of times on this loop. Now, best case scenario, they're nice, neat loops. So we're going to that. And coming up the other side of this one. And then we'll do a third one too. That's just going to secure our wire. All right, so now we're pulling our wires apart in the area that we're working in. And then we are just going to choose a bead, string it on our wire, pull it right down here, and then we are going to tuck it in between our coils. And then we're going to take our wire, the end of our wire, and we are going to feed it through the main coils, and we're going to give it a wrap just to hold that bead into place. So now it's kind of captured inside of those coils. We're going to add another one here where there's space. With a nice blue glass one. And this is a great way to use up all those bits and pieces of beads from other projects. So we got that in there, so we're just going to find the spot where the wire comes out closest to the hole in the bead. And we are just going to wire the bead in that spot. Just a couple of, this has got a bit of a kink in it, so I'm going to just help it along. There we go. Okay, so we've got a green one and we got a blue one. Let's go with a red one. Pulling our wire apart and pop that red one in there. Maneuvering our wire so that bead is captured. Finding the spot where the wire originates closest to. And then just running our wire through the original bangle wire to attach it. So we continue on like this, deciding where our beads are going to land. So I got 3 there. I think I'm going to take a white and pop it in there. So come down to our last bead. Get that in there. And we've got our originating wire on the spool, so at this point we can cut that off. And we just want to pull it out of our way. And for this last bead, we will just get it attached. Wire can be a little tangly at this point just because it's under stress, and I have said in some of my other projects, explained the nature of wire and that it hardens the more that it is bent, which means that you can end up with more of these kinks and knots, and that is just the nature of it. Okay, so we got that in there few times. We want to try and pull all those together. Squeeze them nice and tight. Okay. And then we're going to snip this one off nice and close. Give it a real good squeeze. And tuck that end in. Yeah, that'll do it. And then same thing with this one. So there we have it. Now it is very much adjustable. You can slowly pull it apart to turn it into a larger bracelet. And if you wanted it a little smaller, a little bit tighter, all you have to do is smush that wire together, and that's going to tighten it up on your wrist. So really there's a wide variety of wrist sizes that could wear this bracelet. Same thing, when we take it off, stretch it out a little bit, help it find its shape, and there you have it. Pretty cute, hey? So this is Laura We Met with We Met Wirework and more, and I thank you for watching. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so. Hit the bell so that you get the notifications when we've created another fun project. And leave me your comments because I really love to hear from you guys. In the meantime, have a fantastic day and I will talk to you soon. Thanks so much.